central part of the country now for several hours. This, we can tell you, is only the beginning. We expect to see scenes like this for as much as a couple of more days, with these high winds, with rain coming down in sheets, drenching everything in sight. Even areas some distance away are feeling the effects of this powerful storm. Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera joins us now with the latest. He's at the International Weather Center. Ivan.
Yes, sir.
When you look at the situation right now, what can we say about the storm? How much of its strength is it losing?
Well, it's not. That's the point now. 205 km/h winds. That's when it made landfall here with just an incredible, intense wind field here that is not going to fall apart anytime soon here. Dolores gotta get on the chin here, as that's where it made landfall here. Now, that does not mean the storm is done. Yes, it has made landfall, but it will continue lashing this area with wind gusts in excess of 100 km/h. That will continue over the next several hours. And look at how slow this is moving. Jim, west at 15 km/h. That has not changed. That means it's going to take a couple of days before it gets up to Manila. And all the while, it's going to be dumping incredible amounts of rain. In fact, getting already some storm reports, 104 millimeters past 24 hours there in some areas of the Philippines. Now, Guiana recorded a wind gust of 126 km/h. 120, by the way, is the threshold for a typhoon. So these are definitely typhoon force winds, and I must imagine that that is continuing as we speak, as the storm heads off to the north and west. Here's the latest from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center as far as the track. Now, between now and 24 hours, I think this is going to be the most dangerous part of the storm, because why? We're dealing with severe winds, and we're also going to involve the potential for a storm surge to be pushing towards Legazpi as a result of those winds coming in out of the south and east. And then eventually this will be just a severe wind and rainmaker as it heads up to Manila, but focusing more on essentially the rain over the next few days. Take a look at this graphic here we just pulled out for you. 10 million people are going to be in the path of typhoon force winds. Incredible number there. And then upwards of 40 million are going to be in tropical storm force wind gusts. That in itself can certainly be dangerous. You don't want to be out and about when there are tropical storm force wind gusts. Having to bring branches down, power lines are going to be down, going to be a mess. And then, of course, the red here is where we have those winds that could exceed 120 km/h. That area as well will be picking up significant rain. But the storm surge potential here, 2 to 4 meters, that will be the surge to the north. And then Legazpi combining with a high tide, astronomical high tide because of the full moon. So that will increase sea level rise there significantly at 6:08 in the morning. That is a time to watch very closely, because that water will be pushing in and the tide will be coming in, and that's not going to be good for areas like Legazpi. And as I mentioned, the rain all the while, look at this. 200, 400, some areas picking up upwards of 500 millimeters. And remember, this looks flat, of course, but it is not. We have topography here, we have elevation, and so that rain is going to be squeezed as it lifts up the mountains, and it's going to come down the mountain very rapidly, and that's going to be a problem because it's going to loosen the soil, and that will trigger landslides and mudslides. When you get this amount of rain in a short period of time, that's what you're dealing with in the Philippines. Jim.
Ivan Cabrera, great job keeping us up to date on how this storm is progressing across the Philippines and what it means for everyone. You know, the people in Tacloban have been taking extensive precaution with this storm, Hagupit. Typhoon Haiyan, if you remember, a year ago, completely destroyed parts of that city. Earlier, we talked with David Santos of 9 Television. He explains what people in Tacloban are doing to keep safe.
Many of the government employees and workers are now staying in this city hall. This is this concrete structure, elevated far from the coast. It has a distance from the coastal area, but this is somehow elevated, so there's no worry for storm surge. But then again, as I'm saying, many of the government workers here are on standby. They've been monitoring the situation on the ground since Typhoon Hagupit began bearing down in this part of central Philippines. Of course, the Typhoon Hagupit made landfall in Dolores town. That's way Tacloban is way down southwest of Dolores town, where Typhoon Hagupit had made landfall. Now inside here at the Tacloban City Hall, the main lobby of this